Good evening, class. Hello, it is September 30th, and this is Caleb Carr reporting a little bit here for my Introduction to Photoshop class. So, I never really know how to begin these things. I don't have a full YouTube channel or anything super exciting like, hey, this is John Johnson, and I'm teaching you the basics of Photoshop because I'm an expert. Which I'm not really, but I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background about my project. So, Michael Buble is one of my favorite artists, and I think that he's really underrated, even though he does remind me a little bit of like a young Harry King or something. Um, look up a little bit of news about Michael. So Michael was going to go into retirement last year, and so his final quote unquote album was really hyped up. It was going to be a big deal, and then all of a sudden Michael just sprung back out of retirement. And I think that that was more of a financial decision than anything. I mean, with the massive success and being one of Canada's favorite singers. It's up on the billboard every time he produces something. I mean, how could you just walk out of the limelight like that? I mean, it is always better to end on a high note, as Brett Favre found out the hard way. But Michael is back, so we're gonna make a new album cover for Michael. So we'll go ahead and begin a new project here. Do a custom size. I'm gonna do a let's see, let's do a 2000 by 3000 here. I wanted it to be a little bit more I wanted to have a little more width like this. So this is kind of like going to be my layout. See, when they used to do like CD inserts, I'm really dating myself by bringing that up, but they used to do CD inserts as an album cover, and so it would be a little bit wider than it was tall. And I kind of liked that look, especially if it was going to wrap around to maybe the back cover of the CD could have a little bit of an insert on it as well. I don't know. It depended on how nice of a case it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead to my folder I've made for this assignment, and we're going to go ahead and drag my background image in here. There it is, money. And we'll go ahead and we'll resize it. If you hold the shift tool, it'll actually let you break that aspect ratio, which is sort of what I want to do, because I like the currency here, but I don't want it to be as stretched out as the original image was. So we're going to drag and drop it like that by holding shift, ignoring the aspect ratio. We're going to do it just like this. A bit onto the side. And I also had mentioned too that there would be a little bit of wraparound on this image. So on the left hand side, we're also going to have a little bit of a overlap there. So I'm actually going to be using the exact same image. I'm going to drop it in here as well, and we're going to drag it. Oops, I want to get rid of my aspect ratio again. Give me a little bit more of a background. Now, it's not going to matter that there's this seam here where they're overlapping, because I'm actually going to be undoing that. But something else I wanted to bring up too, this was actually, I was going to do it here in step 7. I was going to be duplicating the layer there. But actually we'll go ahead and just do that now, because I want to make sure that both of those images actually match in size. And I actually really like this one a lot better. So we're going to delete that, and we're going to keep this one right here. And so all I have to do is go into the right click and say duplicate layer. It'll create a copy, and then I can manipulate the image in one over to the other. So now you see the size of the dollar bills will be identical no matter which one I'm looking at. So what I want to do here is, now this is going to be my total background image, and then we're going to end up creating a square and doing a cover over top of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flatten these down. So now they're all on one single layer, and we're going to send that to my background layer. We'll create a new layer right here on top of it. This layer is currently blank, and inside of it, I would like to go ahead and make a nice little cutout where I'm going to start putting all my infographics on top of. So what I want to do is I want to, this rectangle tool here, drop one over the top. We want this, the height of the image right here, and we'll be using the color picker up here at the top to go ahead and recolor my image. I'm going to go with something more, maybe a little more like a gray. The I don't know, I like the gold one better now. Yeah, let's go with that. Green's good. Kind of matches our ongoing theme here. So down here in this color panel, we can actually go ahead and change the color of the image. There's a nice like color swatches and samples up here at the top. But right here, we can actually select the color. And I'm looking for something that sort of matches the green background that I have. But see, actually, I think I like this one here the best. It almost matches the currency on the side, but it doesn't blend too much into the other images. So we're going to go ahead and we'll keep it as that. So the next thing I want to do is, Michael came back, and one of the most iconic lines of all time in any movie franchise is Arnold Schwarzenegger's "I'll be back." I can't do that because I don't have this incredible German or Austrian accent. So we're gonna go ahead and make that sort of the headliner, and we'll keep the original aspect ratio because I want to, make sure I don't ruin anything of Arnold right here. Now to go ahead and edit this, because I don't necessarily want all of the background, just some of the background, I'm going to go ahead and select it and make it a smart image. So by going down here to the bottom, saying convert it to a smart object, we can actually be editing this in, we can double click it and edit in another window. So we'll go ahead and we'll use our select tool, and we can go ahead and highlight certain parts of the image. My phone's going off. I just select Arnold here. Oh my. Something I actually want to do while we're in here is combine images, and I'm going to put my picture of Michael in here. So I can go ahead and just drag it in there. So here's Michael, and he's back. I want to just line it up with my text right here. So I think that'll be great. It's sort of a headliner for Mike. It's like, oh, hey, look, Mike is back. He's looking up there. And then what is he looking at? I mean, it's already an excellent picture. It's perfect for this project right here. And if we go back over, I think once I save this, it should go ahead and update. Yeah, it'll update here back on my original image. So I'm already getting like the colors and the things that I like out of it. And the greens and blues are sort of working for me here. But also, we're going to go ahead and grab some money. We'll put it up here for Mike. Mike's back. The money's back. Life is good. But for this one here, I actually want to go ahead and cut the money out. So we will convert this one to a smart image as well. Oh, come on, darn you. There it goes. And then we'll go ahead and cut it out. This one will work a little bit better with that nice like white background. All right, I apologize. Some technical difficulties here with my little low quality money image. I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of this layer, and then we will re-import the money layer. But I'm going to go ahead and actually edit that image in a new window. So we'll go ahead and let me open the money image that I have saved on my PC. I think it's down here in pictures. So here he is. And then we'll use the magic wand to get rid of some of my background layers. What's great is that as it begins to delete what I have here on the background, it'll actually go ahead and copy it back over with the magic wand tool, and then I'm going to use my crop tool. So this is another thing that we learned in the assignment tutorial for this week. We're going to go ahead and I can just adjust the crop tool, hit enter, and it'll select it down to the size that I want right there. We'll go ahead and we'll save this one back as the original money image. You better call it Geico Money 2 so we can keep the original JPEG to share with the class afterwards. Then I can go ahead back to assignment 4 and drag my image back into this project here. Oops, why am I still on my crop tool? Go back, drag it in. Oh man, I love when I'm like on live and then things just stop wanting to work for me. So there we go. So if I go ahead and I'll save this. It'll go ahead and update back on my original album cover here. Then I'd also like to go ahead and put some text in here too, because it is an album. So we're going to go ahead and we'll grab our text tool and just add some up here in the top in a nice font. Something I actually want to do here too is that notice that when I went to go ahead and put my text layer in there, it actually starts to try to snap to the image below, which is a nice way to align the text here too. But let's say that I'm making a more modern album cover or something, and I don't really want it to all be perfectly aligned like that. I can actually go up to the edit section here, or sorry, is it layer? I want to get rid of my snap feature. Select. Here it is up here under the snap option under the view. So we'll go back down here and I will now be able to just go ahead and grab my text, and then when I start to drag it like that, it's not going to actually try to snap and align with the image. It'll still give me a couple guidelines, like it'll tell me if it's centered on the image below it, but it won't snap anymore. It's not trying to grab my text. So now I can go just like a little bit over. We're going to go over onto the money over here. I used this really bold text from the previous one, but now I'm going to go ahead and change the font. It's a bunch of italics and like really random samples. Guess it won't really matter in particular what I do with it. We'll change that font size. Be like 180. Look at that. Mike's back. And maybe it's a Christmas album. So I think that what we're doing with this now is we are going to go ahead and we'll put the name of the album down here. Ah, shoot. What do you think? What do you think Mike's gonna call that next album? There it is. Mike's Canadian album, part 2. It's back. It's bigger and better than ever. So for my last technique, like technique number 8 that I wanted to demonstrate here too, I wanted to go ahead and put a background border on the image like we have in almost every other one. But the new way that we were taught how to do it is by using the image size tool and expanding the background. So what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and import a background layer. We'll do a new filler layer with a solid color, and then we can make it larger than the actual image itself. So I think that the background layer will just be black. I just want to do like a black border, something maybe that gets trimmed off by the machine once we print this thing out. Then we'll go up to the image size tool. And oops, I still selected on the wrong one. It's the canvas size here. Get my pixels. We'll go maybe another 3 you know, they're 100 pixels on each side. There it is. So that gives me like a border around the back. That's what I wanted to do initially here too. And I had my canvas. Let's see, I had my stack copy. I apologize. I feel like I made a mistake somewhere too. I wanted to get some of this cache here on the other side as well. So we will go ahead. I'm going to duplicate this layer again. It looks like it didn't want to duplicate the layer like I did before. And I understand I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to this thing. Oh, you know what? Let me put my snap feature back on. Thankfully, it's got an alignment tool that's going to help me out anyway. But now I get a little bit more money there on that side. So here is my completed project with all the extras. We used the paint bucket gradient tool here to color this one up, duplicated the layer, converted an image to a smart object, and we were able to edit in a different window. We cropped an image when we edited the money to remove the background, and we used the canvas size anchor tool to create the border around, resizing the image. We did sort of use the paint bucket tool. I was going to go over that very briefly there, but we're reaching the 16-minute mark of this video, so I'll let you guys go there. But let me know if in the comments below if you guys decide that you want to see Michael come back with this new snazzy album cover. I think I should try to get a job with his publisher. But thank you guys, and have a great night.